guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Today I want to speak about something that was on my mind this week.
As you can see from the title, we'll be talking about adulting. Nkosiyam, where do we begin? I feel like I need a whole series to talk about this. Adulting, not just adulting, but also adulting in the African culture. I think that's more relatable and that's closer to home because it's different. Y'all, it's different. Like, we gotta acknowledge that. And I think, with adulting, there's no one thing I realize is there's no age. There's no age where you say, yeah, okay, now I know I'm adulting, or this is when you begin adulting. I think that you just wake up and you realize I'm adulting now. And I think adulting doesn't have to be synonymous with ngo. Adulting doesn't always just have to have a bad connotation to mean that, it's rough. And it is, I don't want to lie. So I think we also kind of learn, or we kind of awaken to the realization that I'm adulting at different points in our lives. It's not like if I realized it once, then listen, like I have adulted. And so, yeah, let's get into adulting as an African child. Ngoba listen, Lalela, African child, you're not alone. Sawubona, as in I see you going through it. And I just want to speak about it for 2 seconds to acknowledge the pain and the achievements. And I just want to say that because you know what, listen, we need to also learn to celebrate small victories as whole adults. Like, guys, I'm a whole adult. Give mama one clue. Can I also just, I'm a whole mother of the household. I must think about the household and the affairs thereof. Who taught me? Who prepared me? So let's talk about that. I think as well that sometimes in adulting, you're stuck in the in-between where you're just like, as a young person, I really wanted to be an adult, to be my own person, to hold my own. As in, my stance, I have my own place. Listen, you can't tell me. But at the same time, you get into that space and you feel like you wish you could see yourself in 10 years or at 40 or 35 or even 50 and see if you're actually going to have it all held down, if you're actually going to have had it figured out enough to live a stable life, enough to be stable and comfortable and have that security. And that's kind of like the anxiety that you kind of live in and that hope that you have for the future and things looking better, right? And I think there's five like overall categories or certain areas of our lives that as we go into adulting that matter, that are impacted the most, that I think either you are maybe underprepared for, or that we don't speak about enough, or that become a challenge for us. And I think that would be finances. I think that would be family. I think that would be friendship and relationships. I think that would be work/studies. And I think that would be just your psychological well-being, and that includes emotional, spiritual, like physical well-being, right? And so I think under finances, there's so much we can talk about. And I'm not going to even claim to know this topic. I wish, there's so many other pages. There's actually Zizipo, soon to, surname soon to change. So I think she really has an amazing page called Sibadala Manje. I think Sibadala. And I'll try to put the link below in the description. And it really speaks about budgeting. It speaks about investments. It speaks about all of those different categories. And I think one thing though is that you aren't actually taught, or you don't really come to the realization until you're deep within how money actually works. And the relationship between you and your money, the one that comes in and the one that also doesn't come in because you don't have it. So you're just like, I really need to think about this whole money thing, this money matter. And I think also what doesn't prepare you is the fact that, you go from being able to have pocket money and spending it on your own things and knowing that mom and dad or family or whoever who raised you is going to take care of food, is going to take care of whatever, then, wow, takes a sip. Then you're that person going to buy the basic things that don't last more than 2 weeks, that cost 2K, and you're like,
airport and taxify to my res. 2 million on its own. Degrossa. My little taxifier.
How did these few things cost me 1 point something? And it's like, when do I like, it's an guys, like, when do I get to buy groceries for a household now? Like, how did our parents do it? But yeah, like, I think there's many ways in which we can learn, I think especially as an African child, and I'm going to bring it back to like being black, right? The word saving hardly comes up until maybe a year or two into or even maybe 3 into your work life or adulting, adulthood. Because firstly, khonale family, and I don't like calling it black tax. It is it, but I don't like calling it black tax because I'm like, but also to some degree, like, you're just sharing a family, man. Like, you're just one person who they sacrificed as much, and to some point you're also giving back, and you're also just helping them as much as they've helped you. So there's that element, right? There's also student loans. Now you must pay back the money. Pay back the money. Where the money resides, where the money resides. That's me. That's this year. You want to just channel that.
What the money reside? What the money reside? What the money reside? What the money reside?
Please take me where the money resides. I want to be there. So you find yourself, navigating between, like, do I give myself, do I ninja myself now because yazin, I need to like save, I need to help out at home. Also, now it's COVID times, hey? So you did not budget. It wasn't in your budget for 2020, even 2021, to be like, listen, actually, I could get sick. If I'm not of medical aid, the expenses that will come with it, I have to buy medication, I have to, potentially be in hospital, I have to buy this. So it's just a lot of things that, how do you navigate your finances? And and this goes out to my Cape Town residents. If you stay in Cape Town, rent will take half of your salary, if not more. And that's the sad thing, is now, how do I budget? How do I save? How do I invest? How do I have enough to do the things that I want to, when half of my salary is going to my place of sleep? How do I? And I think it's very difficult for those who are in Cape Town to actually navigate that space. Guys, can y'all just tell my husband I want to move to Joburg? Phone number 081. But it's completely different. It's completely different. And I think never compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to your Joburg friend who's paying 4K for a 2-bedroom when you're paying 8 or 9 or even 10K or even 8K for a 1-bedroom. Don't compare, because the amount they're probably saving as opposed to yours is completely different. So I think that also just falls under friends and like family and just relationships, because the dynamics are completely different. I think the second thing that you don't get prepared for is that in adulting, certain friendships will end. People will move away. Like, it's not the same. The expectations change, and it's different because also now you guys are in different stages, right, in life. Gotta be busy, gotta be helping, can't be calling at 12. They used to call it midnight shift or shift hours. You can't be calling with the Vodacom, night shift hours, be like, babes, it's like, I've got a husband, I've got a wife. And then you also just have the different expectations and the different stages that you're at in life, and what you're doing, and things aren't the same. You end up missing weddings. Like, I miss my friend's wedding. It was so sad. Actually, I miss both my friends' weddings, but the other one, Shaman, was just finances. Wow. And those are things that you want to be a part of and you want to enjoy. And then you realize, listen, I also need to be frank and real. And I had to tell my friend that, listen, babes, I'd love to be there, but listen, finances, I can't. Like, I cannot. That's like, how much to fly? That's like 4K, 8K, but that must come with my husband. That's how much? It's not in the budget. Like, I would have loved to. If it wasn't for COVID, we would have driven down, blah, blah, blah. But it's so different. And I think I'm trying not to go too deep into it, because I want to unpack them with different people over, like, the next few, vlogs. And, I think I spoke about finances, I spoke about like friendship, kind of family, but like just the dynamics as well. I think that's more layered, and I don't want to touch on it, but you are the big person now in the house. You, even if you live at home and you're making money, or you're done with school, things are quite different. And and navigating that, you know, being able to have boundaries with family, I think it's quite different, you know, because you're trying to start your life, you're trying to save, but at the same time, they need help, they know you're working, and now being able to go like helping them realize, which is something I think sometimes parents and adults don't realize, right? When you're starting off and you're entering this adult world and you start working, is that you also have bills and you also have things to take care of. You have a car, an installment, and you have, you know, different aspects of your life that you must take care of that they may not see, and they may think like, but why can't you help out? Like, you don't have responsibilities. No, listen, also, like, black families, please realize, just because I don't have a child, just because I don't have a husband, doesn't mean I don't have responsibilities. Does not mean I don't have bills and things to pay for. And just because I'm working, it doesn't take away my student loans. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, those are kind of conversations we need to be willing to have with our family, and put those boundaries, you know. Okay, I'm gonna end it there, guys. Please share in the comments like what you've learned from adulting. What have been the highs, what have been the lows, what have been the moments of self-actualization, and let's share with one another, man. Like, being African, being an adult, navigating your 20s and 30s isn't easy. A snip up and place me, Papa shall dance, and you shall feel it. Listen, go, it will be real. Like, whew. But inkinga zam zimenyawo.
Ingxaki zam zonke zime ngeenyawo. Umuntu ase I'm going through it all. Hayi ndiyagowa ke ngoku.
It can be a thing. But even you can also stand with your nyawo and be like, Lalela, I'm going to navigate and realize. So happy adulting. I hope 2021 is better. And I'm definitely going to have people who can speak about the different aspects of our lives, and what adulting looks like as a black child, you know. So I look forward to that.